Why didn't I see all of the red flags? I know. Have you been asking yourself that? I see it a lot in my Facebook group. And I went through the same thing, wondering, okay, well, all of this stuff was happening behind my back. How come I didn't know? How did I not know what was happening? I should have seen it. I should have seen it. So I remember going through all the woulda, shoulda, couldas. If you're thinking that right now, and you're probably beating yourself up a little bit, or maybe overcorrecting and saying, well, if I didn't see all the red flags, then I'm going to make sure that I that I don't miss anything this time. Stay tuned. I want to talk a little bit about that to hopefully give you some peace of mind. So stay tuned. All right, so these red flags. Um, Maybe you did as I did and started going back in time to when, because my husband did, he gave me dates and times. And when I went back in my timeline to when he was with the affair partner, I was kicking myself going, oh, why didn't I see this? Why didn't I recognize this? And then I started to feel stupid. I'll be honest, I felt really stupid and naive. I felt like a fool, and I overcorrected and started looking for red flags when there weren't any. So I went from feeling like I wasn't seeing anything to everything was a red flag, and it hounded me, and I was beating myself up. So I don't want you to do the same thing. I do not want you to beat yourself up about not seeing the red flags. Let's just look at this for what it is. People who are having affairs are being deceptive. They're deceiving us. They're hiding things from us. And the more someone does this, the better they get at it. My husband was very good at hiding things. He was very good at lying to me. He could lie straight to my face as easy as he could drink a glass of water. And I'm not a psychologist, but I know enough to know that compartmentalization is a real thing. And when someone is living a double life, they are compartmentalizing the affair, one relationship, and compartmentalizing their marriage, another relationship. And they're very good at keeping the two things separate, meaning that, they're good at hiding things from both sides so that they can keep it separate. Because they're really good at something doesn't mean that we're stupid. It just means they're really good at it. They're really good at what they did. They were very good at deceiving us. And we did nothing wrong by being a trusting spouse. There's nothing wrong with that. That's actually healthy in a relationship, to trust your spouse. We were deceived. We did nothing wrong. We are not stupid for not seeing what was not meant to be seen. We weren't meant to see it because it was hidden. We're not clairvoyant, and we're not, we weren't at that time and place in our marriage living in a world of being an investigative detective type person who's going to go looking for things that aren't there, because at that point in time we felt safe. We didn't have a reason to go looking for it. Okay? So all of that to say, we did nothing wrong. Of course, we didn't see the red flags. We weren't meant to. We weren't meant to. Now, if you were watching this, maybe you did see some red flags. And I'm thinking back to maybe there were some things that I felt uncomfortable with and I didn't act on. But beating myself up for those things is not going to change the outcome. It didn't change the fact that he had an affair, and it may or may not have stopped him from having it if I would have caught him back then. It's not my fault, and it's not your fault. So if you have overcorrected like I did, and here's what I mean by that. I went from beating myself up because I didn't see any of the red flags before to suddenly everything had a red flag. Like everything. He would sneeze in the other room and I'd be like, is he, or anytime he picked up his phone, or anytime the phone rang, or anytime there was a something on TV and I'd see him flinch a certain way. Oh, is he thinking about her? I mean, I did everything. So because I was beating myself up so bad for not seeing them, now I'm feeling so incredibly unsafe that I was seeing them everywhere, even when they weren't there, right? And it was making me miserable. It was making him miserable. So here's what I would like to encourage all of us to do. First, let's just take a deep breath. And here's what I want you to say after me. I did not see the red flags because I was not meant to see the red flags. We did nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with us. We're not stupid. We're not naive. And no amount of overcorrecting now can change the past, nor is it going to prevent them from having another affair if they want to. We need to remember that yes, it's important to have intuition. Yes, it's important to be wise and be aware, but we have no control over this other person. And that does not make us weak. It doesn't make us naive. It doesn't make us stupid. We are only human. We need to forgive ourselves. We need to forgive ourselves, and we need to trust ourselves again. That's another thing that happens, by the way. You realize you didn't see the red flags, and suddenly you don't trust yourself anymore, right? You don't trust any decision you make. Because, hey, well, if I didn't know he was having an affair before, how do I know he's not having one now? I don't even trust my decision to stay. I must be stupid. If we can't trust ourselves, we're never going to be able to trust them again. We're doing the best we can. You're doing the best you can in a horrible situation. So I want us all just to take deep breaths, acknowledge that we are only human. We have done nothing wrong. We are not weak. We are not stupid. We didn't see what was not meant for us to see. That's not our fault. Try not to overcorrect. Try not to go crazy in the other direction, and just trust yourself. Trust that you are doing the best you can in a horrible situation, and you cannot change the past, and you cannot predict the future, and you cannot control him. Be aware, be wise, and just do the best you can. I know it's a tall order, I get that, and I know it's probably easier said than done. But that's the best we can do in a situation that's out of our control, okay? All we can control is here. So if you're struggling with that, you can't trust yourself, you're struggling with the red flags you missed before, you're overcorrecting now and you don't want to do that anymore, I can help you with that. Schedule a free consultation with me, links below, as well as some freebies and a way to join my Facebook group. I'd love for you to join. Facebook group is for wives, so if you're a husband watching, it's for wives only, but if you are looking for a coach, husbands out there, I'm happy to have a free consult. If you're interested in that, I'm happy to do that. So that being said, deep breath. Learn to trust yourself, okay? You weren't meant to see what was hidden from you. It's not your fault. Not your fault.